I have 11 books to talk to you about today for my July wrap-up. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Mo Reads Books. My name is Mo. I read books. I also redid my bookshelf. That shelf looks really bad. Hold on. I've already read 2 books in August. You can see them up here. It's August 9th right now, which I know is like, wow. I'm filming this kind of late. That's alright. Also, I'm sorry for the shadows. I have a light on. I have to make it dark enough to see anything. I redid my bookshelf. So down here is kind of like my random area. This is like my YA contemporary romance type area. This is my fantasy shelf, probably my favorite shelf. And this is adult romance, and up there is like BookTube classics, I would say. So I have like Twilight, The Hunger Games, The Selection, that kind of stuff up there. So we're just gonna get started. The 11 books I read. So first we're gonna start off, I'm gonna start doing stats. So these are my statistics for July. I had 6 5-star reads, I'm pretty sure. One of them I think is either gonna be a 4.5 or a 5 or like a 4.75. So I'm not entirely sure yet. A 4-star I had 1, 3-star I had 2. 2 stars I had 1, and 1 star I had 1. Genres I read. So I read 2 fantasy, which is like not super ideal. I read 1 graphic novel, 1 random. I couldn't like put it in a category. I don't know what it would fit in. Why is my light doing that? Is that better? We're gonna say that's better. I read 2 adult romances and 5 YA romances. So it was a very romance-filled month. My total number of books that I read was 11. My total page count was 3,764. So it was a pretty big reading month for me. We're just gonna get started because I'm excited. As we go along, I'll be stacking them back here so you can see all of them in their glory. Obviously, I'll be telling you what the rating was, and if it's my book, and I'll just tell you about the book. So, first book I read was one of my own books, and that was The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. So if you did not know, in June, I actually only ended up reading 4 books. I only ended up reading 8 books in June, and I was going to try and finish 2 more to get to 10. This was one of the 2 that I was going to try and finish, and I didn't end up finishing it. So, I actually ended up giving it a 4-star. I think this is my only 4-star this month, I'm pretty sure. So this basically follows a girl named Natasha, whose family is getting deported to Jamaica at the end of the day, and she's like trying to stop it. And a guy named Daniel, whose family wants him to go to college, and like, he doesn't want to. And they end up meeting on the street, and it's like their romance story. It's set in a day except for the epilogue. So yeah, it was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. So now I have all of Nicola Yoon's books on my shelf, and I've read all of them. So yeah. Next book I read was Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So this was the other book that I was trying to finish in June, and I didn't get to it. So I finished it pretty early on this July. I do my wrap-ups in like order of when I read them. So like I read this first thing basically. I ended up giving this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I don't really think that's a big shock to anyone. I was so excited for this book. I've been wanting to read it since it came out, and I never got my hands on a copy. Now I have it, and I'm super excited. This book follows Alex, who is the first son of the President of the United States, and Henry, who is the Prince of Wales. And basically they have to like fake a friendship to calm down US and British relations. And then eventually their fake friendship turns into a real friendship, and their real friendship turns into something more. So, it's a really cute romance. I would say it's an adult. I've seen a lot of people classify it as YA, and I've seen a lot of people classify it as an adult novel. Reading it, I would say it's an adult novel. They are, like, grown up. They're in their 20s. And I just feel like some of the content is more in there.
Can you hear me? Huh. What?
What does that say, Anaya?
What?
No!
What?
Some of the content in this book is more towards adult. So, adult, YA, whatever you'd like to consider, I consider it an adult romance, as do a lot of people. So, I really liked it. I gave it a 5-star. I think that's better. It's still dark, but then you don't have my shadow, like, racing around everything. So, we're gonna keep it like this. The third book I read was the first library book I read this month. I only read a couple. Oh, I didn't say, like, my books to library book ratio. I read 4 library books, and I read 7 of my own books, I'm pretty sure. So the third book I read last month was The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. So this is a YA contemporary romance, and I ended up giving it a 3-star. I thought it was just okay. Nothing special, and nothing, like, that I extremely hated. I didn't like the main girl character, but I liked the overall story, kind of enough, but yeah. So this basically follows a girl named Gia, who's been, like, bragging to her friends about this college boyfriend that she has, and she's taking him to prom so that they can meet her and stuff, meet him, and stuff, and all of a sudden, he breaks up with her in the parking lot of her high school prom. So she recruits the help of this random guy in the parking lot to be her fill-in boyfriend. So yeah, I'm sure you can see where this is going. It's a Casey West. They're like Hallmark movie romances. They all end the same. But yeah, I gave it a 3-star. It was just alright. Not my favorite Casey West. Probably, honestly, my least favorite Casey West I've read ever. So, the next book I read was Gossip Girl, I Like It Like That. So this is the 5th book in the 12-book Gossip Girl series. I have the entire box set down here. The best way I can describe my bottom shelf is my books that either don't have a specific genre, because, like, mainly have romances, fantasy, and, like, series, kind of. And these are kind of, like, books that don't have a genre, or books I don't like, or don't think I'll like, or, like, genres I don't really like. So this book, I gave it a 1-star. I was a little surprised that I gave it a 1-star. I don't really know how that happened, but I gave it a 1-star. So this series is literally Gossip Girl. It's what they based the TV show off of. But if you're a fan of the TV show, don't read these. Just don't. I can't go into full-on detail because this is the 5th book in the series, but I will say that this was the worst one so far. They went on, like, spring break, and it was so bad. I have a review of this book down, in my Goodreads. Here's my Goodreads account. If you want to go look for the review, I explain what every character was doing and why I did not like them. So, yeah. Next, we have a library book that I'm definitely going to buy my own copy of because I'm so excited for it. And I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering her next book, which is coming out in September, I believe, and I'm super excited for it. But that was What I Like About You by Marissa Cantor. So, I've seen some mixed reviews on Marissa Cantor's, like, this is her first book, on her book. Because a lot of people don't, like, haven't enjoyed it. I gave it a 5-star. I think I really resonated with Hallie. I don't know why. So, this basically follows a girl named Hallie who is moving to her grandpa's, like, town in her grandpa's house because her parents are, like, traveling movie stars. So she can have a normal senior year. And she basically runs this really famous Twitter account called One True Pastry. And it's basically where she does, like, a cupcake and a book review. And it's, like, super popular. She has this online best friend named Nash, and he does, like, comic book panel stuff. Basically, she goes to the library, like, her first night at in her grandpa's town. And she sees Nash in real life, but he doesn't know who she is because she uses an online pen name that is Kells. Can I talk?
What?
What does that say, Anaya?
What?
Kells, and basically they become friends and stuff over real life, and it all blows up at the end like I wanted it to, and it all comes back together perfectly. I thought it was really good. I finished this, like, really quickly, and I really liked it. So this was just, like, I randomly picked up this book. I was, like, scanning the shelves in my library to look for, like, contemporaries, and I found this, and I liked the cover, so I got it, and I'm so happy I did, because now I found a probably new favorite author. I hope I like her new one. And I read another library book, so this was my first fantasy of the month. And that was The Language of Thorns, Midnight Tales, and Dangerous Magic by Leigh Bardugo. I think I gave this one a 2-star. Yes, I gave this one a 2-star. So, this is the short story collection for the Grishaverse, and I did not enjoy it. Basically what I did is there's 6 short stories, so I read a short story every night for 6 days, and I finished it in less than a week. But I will say, I didn't love any of the stories. None of them were spectacular, and I pretty much either was, like, okay with them or hated all of them. So let me just, like, talk about this real quick. So, this is the page with the short stories on it, so you can see. So, Ayama and the Thornwood, I actually quite enjoyed. The Too Clever Fox, I did not like. The Witch of Duva was just okay. Little Knife, I hated. I absolutely did not like. The Soldier Prince, I liked okay. And When Water Sang Fire was probably my favorite one, but it was way too long. When Water Sang Fire was like 80 pages, and it could have been like 40. But that one's like a weird, like, this group of friends, like, one of the girls turns into, like, Ursula from The Little Mermaid at the end, which was, like, really, I like how she did it, and I like the ending. But I just didn't, this whole collection just didn't go with me. I was, like, I had a mental breakdown about, like, how I was gonna finish When Water Sang Fire, because I didn't want to stay up super late that night. Because it was that long, and I was like, it did not need to be that long, and I ended up just giving the short story collection a 2-star. I was thinking of bumping it up to a 3, and then I was like, no, definitely not. I didn't like most of the stories that much, so 2-star it is, but I read it. Then, so I read books to Romeo. We've read the entire Hunger Games trilogy, as well as The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel, and we're starting on the Twilight Saga. So last month we finished New Moon by Stephenie Meyer. I ended up giving this a 3-star because I like this more than the Gossip Girl series, which I've given all 4 of them, except for this 5th one, a 2-star. So I gave this a 3. This is a lot of, like, whining, like Bella being like, oh my god, like, that's basically the entire book, which I didn't love, like, at all, but that's fine. I don't know what my boyfriend gave it. I'll put what his rating was right here. So, New Moon, my general consensus was a 2-star, or I mean a 3-star. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It was just alright. We're reading Eclipse right now, and it's better, but yeah, this was definitely not as good as the first book, but I think it is my least favorite out of the series.
Don't you know that you're toxic?
So the next book I read was The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. I got this really cute, like, actual graphic novel version. It's not, like, the huge, like, children picture book version. I gave this a 5-star. I loved the illustrations. So this follows a girl named Greta who finds this, like, lost tea dragon and brings it to its owner, and then basically, what is happening? Basically, she ends up becoming part of the Tea Dragon Society and finds this new friend named Minette, I'm pretty sure, and it is, like, the cutest thing in the world. I want to reread it already. I thought it was adorable, and I'm in love with it, basically. So I got this, and then immediately read it. Like, it took me, like, 20 minutes to read this, and it was 60 pages of just adorable. Like, I was, like, crying over the illustrations. It was so cute. The story was so wholesome. I'll definitely be picking up the other 2 Tea Dragon Society books she has out right now. So, yeah. The next book I read. So, these next 3 books I finished in not even 48 hours. So, the first book that I finished, or I don't know how many we're on. But the next book I finished was another library book, and that is There's Something About Sweetie by Sandhya Menon. So I've been reading the When Dimple Met Rishi series. I've already read, obviously, When Dimple Met Rishi and there's From Twinkle with Love. So then I read There's Something About Sweetie. This is definitely my favorite one so far. I gave this a 5-star. I really liked it. This one follows Sweetie, who's like this track star, but she's fat. And her mom like kind of shames her for being fat. And then her love interest is Ashish, and I think that's how you say it. And he's like the super skinny jock, and he looks like a jerk, but he's not. Basically, Sweetie's mom doesn't want them to date, but Ashish's mom like set them up on a date, so they're going on these 4 dates, and then if it works out, they'll tell her parents, Sweetie's parents about it. It was really, really cute. I like these. These are like Indian romances, I'm pretty sure. And I really like the culture, because I've obviously I didn't know anything about it. And it's super interesting to read it in these books. Right now, I just started the final one, 10 Things I Hate About Pinky. I'm pretty sure that's the last one. Then I read my other adult romance this month, which was Party of Two by Jasmine Guillory. So this is the 5th book, I believe, in the wedding date series. I heard the wedding date is not great, and then it gets better. But I do want to read all of them and try them all out. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I got this one last year, so I figured I would read it. One follows Olivia, and she's moving to LA to start her own law firm. And it also, so basically one night she is staying in this hotel, and she goes to the bar and meets this guy named Max. And they really hit it off. She soon figures out that Max is actually the junior senator, or he's a white politician. So obviously when their relationship goes public, a lot of people disagree with it and stick their noses where they don't belong. And yeah, I thought it was really good. And I like political romances now, apparently. I read 2 political romances this month, and I liked both of them. I gave this a 5-star. I thought it was super cute and super fun. And yeah, I really liked it, honestly. So definitely will be picking up more from Jasmine Guillory and telling you my thoughts about it. Final book that I read, I finished this like at 11 on the last day of July, and that was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I know, I finally finished Six of Crows. So I tabbed it. I annotated it. I went through it with this book. Went through the motions. Like, it was a lot. So if you didn't know, this follows 6 different people. It says a convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heartrender using her magic to survive the slums, and a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. And they're going on this, like, you're going to die, like, no one survived this type of thing, like, mission. They're going to break through the Fjerdan Ice Court to get this prisoner, who basically is, like, creating this thing called Jurda Param. I don't know how to say it. And it's, like, making these Grisha go, like, insane, basically. It was good, and I really liked the whole book until the last 2 chapters. That's why I'm thinking I might give it a 4.75 rather than a 5. The ending just really, I didn't like it. I honestly was like, okay, why is this happening? I did not like the ending at all. So, I don't know what it was, but yeah, I liked all of it except for the ending. I liked all the Kanej moments were everything. And I loved it. Except for the last 2 chapters. I just don't know. I don't know what it was. It made me mad. Like, but here's this page, which, like, but I don't know. The last 2 chapters upset me, and I didn't like how it ended. So I'm kind of, like, wary to pick up Crooked Kingdom. I will be this month, but again, I'm kind of wary about it. But yeah, I think I'm giving it a 5 or a 4.5 or a 4.75, somewhere within the realm of those numbers. I'm not sure. 4.5 to a 5, I'm not entirely sure what it was. I did enjoy all of it except for the ending, so I don't know if I should hold it accountable for that or what. So those were the 11 books I read this this month. So as we do every month, I'm going to be going through and putting them all back on my shelf except for the library books. But really quickly, I want to film my outro and then we'll do that. Okay, so we're going to be separating them into piles. So, like, here we'll do red here, or, like, go back on my shelf here, and then library, right? Yeah. The books I'm going to be returning to the library that I read last month was There's Something About Sweetie by Sandhya Menon, The Language of Thorns, Midnight Tales and Dangerous Magic by Leigh Bardugo, What I Like About You by Marissa Cantor, and The Filling Boyfriend by Casey West. So those are the ones that I read last month that I'll be returning. I will also be returning 2 extras that I haven't read and I'm not going to be reading. So the first one is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because I just don't think I'm going to get to it and I don't really have time to read it. And then same thing with Cass and Firelight by Dana Swift. I picked it up because it was beautiful, but I'm not going to have time to get to it. It's pretty thick. I have too many other books I want to read, so that one's going to be returned too. So I'm going to be returning all of these to the library, and we're going to be putting all of these back on my shelf. So we have Party of Two, Six of Crows, The Tea Dragon Society, New Moon, Gossip Girl, I Like It Like That, The Sun Is Also a Star, and Red, White, and Royal Blue. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and we are going to put them all back on their designated shelves, and yeah. Excuse everything, it is a little bit of a mess. So this is my, like, bottom shelf. This is where I put random stuff. Like, this is just, like, stuff I don't want to read. I do want to read this one, but it doesn't really have, like, a specific genre. I don't really want to read these, but I am. And then I have, like, some mass markets back there, and this little random cup of stuff. So, the books on that shelf, or that are going on that shelf, we are going to be putting the Gossip Girl book, as well as the Tea Dragon Society, because I don't have anywhere else to put it. So, the Tea Dragon Society, it doesn't, like, work out in the front, so I had to put it back here. But I'm having it, like, faced out, because I think it's beautiful. And then the Gossip Girl book, we can take, we're not going to take it out, but it goes right here. There you have it. It looks actually exactly the same. But yeah, there's the 5 Gossip Girl books I read. So next is this shelf, which I think we only have one. Yes, we only have one book that's going on this shelf, and that is The Sun Is Also a Star. So, as you can see here, it's in alphabetical order of author's last name, so Nick Williams at the end. And we're putting it in publication order. So The Sun Is Also a Star goes right here. We have this shelf up with next... I can't speak. Okay. This next shelf up, which is fantasy. So we only have one that we put on this shelf as well, which is Six of Crows. So it's going to go right in between my, like, beautiful movie tie-in edition and Crooked Kingdom, which is this one. Alright, there you have it. Right there. Yay! Okay. So the next shelf up is definitely a work in progress. These are the 2 books I've read this month. Don't worry about it. This is my, like, adult romance and also some fantasy romance up here. Shelf. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep it like that. And then we have 2 books to put on the shelf. So, I'm going to put this one, like, facing out, because I think the cover is so cute. Pretty. Those are my AirPods, sorry. And then we're going to put Red, White, oh goodness. Red, White, and Royal Blue, just like that. Top shelf is, as I said, like, YA favorites. This is Twilight stuff, so we have the Twilight series. This is Midnight Sun, and then these are the graphic novels. Then we have Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is the Hunger Games trilogy, the Selection trilogy, the novellas, and then the 2 extra books. We have The Fault in Our Stars, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and then these are some BookTube and Book Talk favorites, so like The Wicked King and Shatter Me, and the Shatter Me, like, novella collection thing. So yeah, that's this shelf. It's kind of random, but kind of not. I kind of love it. So, obviously Eclipse is taken out. Actually, you don't mind my room. It's actually right here. But New Moon goes right up in here. So, here's the shelf. It looks basically the same. We just added New Moon. Here's this shelf. I like, though, that all of my shelves are actually different than they were last video. There's that one. This one, which looks like filled out and nice. From Blood and Ash actually goes right here. But, of course, right there. So there's the fantasy shelf, there's that shelf, and the bottom shelf. So, yeah. Let's roll the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you watched to the end. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below, like, and subscribe if you would like to get more content from me. I just posted a book haul, so go make sure you watch that after that you watch this, because it's the end. Also, I do want to mention, if you did not know why some books on my bookshelf were turned around, it's because I'm doing a yearly challenge where every time I read a book, I get to put it back on my bookshelf with its spine facing out. So, I just figured I would let you know that, and we are going to get on to the other part. But thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. I hope you stick around for more videos in the future, and I love you all.